Just looking down at the rest of everybody going, nah, I'm going to dodge out all of this. Who needs emergency pickups? He's got his own way to get over there, but he has to be careful. Whenever he drops, he's going to be landing right in front of a ton of people. So he's going to drop off. Looks like he might be able to regroup pretty close to Correxy, though. 17 Gaming have to contend him with the fact that EF is right up on top of them. Twisted to the south has to deal with Petrichor Road, who's trying to make their approach. Batulin's on no life. Example doesn't have vision in it, but it's going to be just a continued rush. Ming taking some damage, but does manage to make it into the longhouse.
Yeah, if he can get in there and get the first aid, he has a chance to at least do some more damage, but some really good DMRing from Example, starting to find his form, starting to be the best player in the world that we have seen throughout 2024. Gonna look for the grenade, trying to get the finish on the Ming, but Ming a little bit deeper than he was expecting. More grenades here, try to set up Example, but Example knows that that room is likely clear, so he's gonna try to guess that maybe he's in the middle rooms. It's actually gonna be Ming, just trying to use his utility to buy a little bit more time.
While this is going on, the Expendables has since Delwyn all the way across. The Crossfire are going to continue coming in, jumping into essentially the frying pan. No fear coming out. Meanwhile, Virtus Pro making the push into TSM. Multiple members down already, so looks like they're going to try to trust in. They do have an angle of approach that's pretty open and safe. TSM is having to hunt them down while there's been so many firefights going on around them. Just a matter of time before they get spotted, and there you go. Virtus Pro gets control over here, but now they have to move. Guess you just heard that, though. It's going to be Navi just moving in. They've got a gatekeep right on top of VP, and there are no options for anybody from VP.
Varus is even going to reach out into the blue here, trying to take down these, kind of expecting each other around that corner. Varus with an AK, trying to put that to good use up close and personal, but the blue starting to tick too much for him to really commit to this fight just now. And he's getting harassed by that split that TE has from the other side.
But on the other side, yeah, it's going to be TE popping off, trying to see if they can backstab into this, and it's going to be Delwyn down for the time being. Navi realizing that there's a lot of threats way closer than they were expecting. Duckshoes now all by himself, cresting around, but let's not forget the Freaks. Still 4-man strong over into the east. Circle has popped. It is going to favor the position coming up from FaZe as well as Twisted, but let's not forget TE, who's just had control over the north for so long. All they have to do is just collapse.
There's so many awesome things going inside of this game in terms of the way the players are positioning. FaZe with their wide splits, now able to group back up. TE with this 2-2 split across the road, across the valley, to take control of their territory. Twisted Minds holding on for dear life over on the southwest. So a lot of really smart stuff coming through here in game number 2, but I think all eyes are going to be on Twisted Minds. They have the compound, they have 3 players, they have a really good position to potentially take a win.
And they're going to deny out so many sight lines and angles of approach, specifically from the Freaks as well as Navi. So the Expendables have the hillside that they can play and kind of collect in next to each other, while they do still have Duckshoes that's going to be in the front. Freaks look like they've got to read the fact that the southern part of the circle is a bit more heavy than they want to. So said, just lines in. Varus is going to get the knock-on salute and have it both. But a couple of shots now coming back from Tanvu, shooing him away from that angle. So said really wants to try to find some more out of it. Getting the shots in, but no, Navi is going to go down. But the Freaks are in shambles.
It's just Yumi, and he's on his own as a solo. He's wiped out. The Kwangdong Freaks maneuver does not work. Too many players still on the high ground for them to contend with, and they get absolutely torn asunder. Twisted Minds going to try to pop those tires onto the TE vehicles. TE now under pressure from Jeems and FaZe Clan. Tanvu, will he be able to get to Corey's to get that res?
Okay, now we've got the usual suspects from the last game in TE and FaZe, who were just doing so much work around the circle. Add in Twisted Minds. This is about to be a very heady circle number 6 moving into 7. Smoke's coming out. The Expendables doing a great job of trying to navigate, but it's going to be the high ground advantages coming up from Jeems and Corexy. They're going to make it so complicated. Duckshoes really can't find any way to support, so it's all on to Tanvu to make sure that he keeps his member alive and also gets res. And it looks like with enough smokes, he's managed to buy it.
Yeah, that's really important for the Expendables. That could give them the opportunity to take the win. A lot of this fighting is going to be taking place over on the western side. There's a lot of rocks, a lot of cover that you can utilize in there to kind of keep yourself obscured from the safety of Twisted Minds' compound. I'm not just going to take damage for free from them.
I'm still just broken in the brain right now that FaZe managed to regroup, using that zip line across the top of the Twisted, trying to get the shots into the Expendables. But that's close enough to the rock. I think that that's where they were wanting to make it to. Anyway, so now 3 members with the Expendables lined up against 2 from FaZe, while Twisted has control of the low ground.
That was a little bit of squeaky bum time there for Duckshoes. He turned that vehicle right into Batulin's angle. Corexy Trying to use that Dragon off to keep T at bay, hitting some decent shots to do so. So for now, he's bought himself and James a little bit more breathing room to try to wait out this next phase of the circle, not the team, the next phase of the circle. As let's see where we are going to go. Centering up, so a lot of this hillside still in place. So there's actually a fair amount in terms of like rocks and dips and stuff like that that these players have to work with. Just how much damage you're going to do to each other. Correxy hitting a big headshot, looking for another, can't find it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the Expendables that are hunkered down for now, but they're going to have to make a couple of meters more of a push into the safe zone. And that's just going to be right into the vision of FaZe. Twisted, perfectly content to let FaZe do all the work in weakening the Expendables, seeing if they can find an angle to pounce from at a later stage of this. The only two teams they have to contend with are lined up against each other right now, and so Twisted, just vibe it, chill it. They're keeping an eye on what's going on over there, trying to see if they can control, but now that they've got Example kind of playing the foreground position down into the south, nobody's going to be easily making it into the circle. Vehicles look like they're going to be the way the Expendables try to do it. A couple of shots to try to cover on that approach as well, so do manage to get in. But James also just rushes down right up in front of Glorious, and now it's just going to be on to Corexy. Back behind this one, he has to be careful and steps in. Oh no! At this stage, a mortar?
This is going to be tough for the other teams to deal with.
Where's it going?
Should be pretty close to the Expendables. I strike back to right by that car. Duck Juice knew it. Example is going to get a knock on to Corexy while he's continuing to try to harass the Expendables. Not going to be working this time around. Tombu left loose with a grenade, trying to find the flush. James behind the car. Tombu with an AUG. Going to try to use that molly to open up a little bit of extra room. Still though, those mortars not able to find their mark just yet, but Twisted Minds, some level 3 gear, great positioning on the other end of the circle. FaZe is going to be eliminated, but one member of the Expendables does go down in the meantime.
Okay, Expendables, you've got to fight your way through this one, and you don't have a lot of strong angles to work from. It's just going to be all on your firepower, but you almost think that that's the way the Expendables want it. The issue is that it's going to be Example, already at 4 kills for himself, that is going to be the point man up on the hillsides, looking down into Tanbu and Duck Juice's positioning. He's trying to see if he can spot out anybody just retreating from the fire that the other two members for Twisted are going to try to pop up. But Tanbu doing a good job of just trying to control for the time being and allow Duck Juice to regroup.
No matter how you slice it, this is a phenomenal game for the Expendables. Oh, goodness gracious. That's just unfair. That's just unfair, man. He's so clean. But still, 11 kills for the Expendables in that. Now you got to drive in. Now you got to finish the job. All on to Tanbu to try to hold the line.
Just cresting up in the hill, tons of utility, everything on the tool belt that they would want to try to use. Nades prepped up, they know how long to cook them, and they're going to be dropping them right on top of the Expendables, but good juking coming out from the opposing side of this one. Tanvu still just trying to clean up, and let's not forget Example's got a